guys, for this week's video I thought we could do a little sketchbook tour because this is my current or my first sketchbook I ever did, or I attempted to do some sketchbooks, as I said, in my February favorites I think, but I never really had one book that I said, yeah, that's my sketchbook, I only sketch in it and stuff like that. So that would be my first one. And I made this sketchbook myself, so I was binding it myself and it's completely made by me. And yeah, so here I used some paper I had lying around to bind it. So there were some little sketches or little color marks from my siblings on there. So I decided to draw a tree to cover them up, and then I colored it in with blue color. So, and the colors I'm using are watercolors. I used a bit of pencil and felt pen, I think it's called, but it's mostly watercolor. And then on the back I made this moon because I was testing out a new technique to get these really flat washes, I think they're called, instead of this patchy design I have here. So yeah, that was kind of the first thing I did with this book, that I made it my own with designing the cover and the back of it. And yeah, I don't think that all the things I drew in here are good, because they're mostly like just quick sketches and seeing if I can do things I used to be able to do, or if I don't and if I have to try more. So yeah, I'm just gonna flip you through really quick, and yeah, it's not finished and I just wanted to show you a bit of my process. So this is the first page. I have this green paper here, and yeah, I just practice a bit of mouth drawing and eye and nose drawing. And I discovered that I always use kind of the same nose. It's like a bit of my nose, not totally, but more or less. Or I don't use any mouth at all, because I'm like, no, that's okay. And I also have some quotes or some text things there to just give it a bit of life. And then here we have a little pocket where I have like some thumbnails or some color studies and how to draw skin, and then just like little pieces of paper to look or to see what the color is gonna look like on paper. And then the first official page, I started to just draw on these pages here, and then I thought that I should paint on these ones too, because yeah, I was really using a lot of paper and not totally using every space I could. So yeah, this is the first thing I drew in here, and most of these paintings I drew on the train or at home. So this one I drew on the train, and I just wanted to do a quick study to see if I'm still able to draw figures, and if my anatomy drawing is still as good as it used to be. But yeah, as you can see, it obviously isn't. And yeah, then this one I drew on the train as well. And then these ones I just started with the eyes on them and then drew around it, but it's like really sketchy and I just wanted to draw. So it's more like to draw, not to have something good. Then this one I started to draw with a bit of ashes kind of, and then it wasn't visible at all, so I painted over, but it's like just messing around. It's not good at all, like this one or this one. and then I drew some animals, but always with these eyes because I was drawing these eyes, and then the page was empty and I decided to do something else with it, but yeah, it really looks sad. I don't like this page at all. Then here I had like a timetable of my uni hours I had to do, and then I just drew over it. And yeah, some other paintings. This is like I did a painting or a drawing, and I couldn't be bothered to draw hair, so I decided to make Aang from the last Airbender. And yeah, you can see this one I did first, and I was really painting for the sake of creating something beautiful. And then this one I was just making for the sake of painting or drawing, not because I wanted to create something. But I find it interesting that these two are next to each other, because I think they do look a bit similar. And yeah, then I have this one where I started to draw with colored pencils. And yeah, then some of these again, and a little anatomical study, but it's like really bad. Then this one I drew on the train as well. And yeah, this one I drew of because I have like frames, and I wanted to paint the two characters of my books, but it didn't turn out how I wanted it, so I glued it in here. And this is my brother. I'm sleeping on the train, and I was sitting opposite him, so I decided to paint him. And then some studies of his ear, his nose, and his mouth, and his eye here and his mouth there. And then I started to use paper outside of the sketchbook, because then I could glue it down with some sellotape, so that while it was drying, so the watercolors, it wouldn't get really wavy. So yeah, I glued them in here later. And yeah, I'm really doing a lot of these at the moment because I really like this technique. It looks just really polished. And yeah, then this painting or this drawing you saw in my February favorites. And yeah, then there are some more of these flat washes or watercolor paintings. This one I also uploaded onto my Instagram, which you can find below. And then yeah, I was just messing around, and this one you saw in my February favorites as well. Then I did this one a few days ago, and then yesterday when I was on the train, I drew this one, which originally I wanted to make something pretty, but then I made the mouth too big, so everything started to go downhill from there, and I decided just to go a bit crazy with it. Then I wanted to draw my shoe, but it looks really lifeless, and I used to be better at it than that. And then this one I also don't really like. It's supposed to be like an elf coming out of a wall, but you can't really feel that, you can't really see that. Then I did some more like studies, and then I drew my hand, and this should be a wand, but it doesn't look like that at all. And yeah, then I did a bit of looked at my surroundings to see how trees look like. They have their branches upwards, and a little mountain which I saw from the train. Then I decided to draw this, but I don't really know what happened with all these things there. And then I have like a mermaid boy, but it looks weird because it goes straight up behind him and not like a bit to the side. And then I did this one for like about half an hour because they're like really small details, and yeah, they took a while to make, but I really like this one. I think it looks really finished kind of. So yeah, and here there is written "Where are you going?" because the way it just ends abruptly. And yeah, that's all I have in here for the moment. And yeah, here is written to the moon, because it ends with the moon. So yeah, that's more or less everything that I have in here at the moment. It's like an eighth of the whole sketchbook, but yeah, I really like it. I'm really happy that I made this sketchbook for me, and yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Bye!